Alright guys, this situation goes off the rails almost immediately. What starts as a completely lawful act, a citizen filming marked police vehicles from a public pavement, quickly turns into a full-blown abuse of authority. Auditor Matt isn't trespassing, threatening anyone, or interfering with police operations. He's standing peacefully with a camera, exercising a right every citizen is supposed to have. But the officers storm out with a completely different attitude. Instead of professionalism, they bring suspicion, pressure, and intimidation. They repeatedly demand his personal details despite admitting they don't actually know if he's committed any offense at all. And that's the disturbing part. Their entire justification is built around uncertainty, not evidence. Rather than respecting the law, they begin twisting lawful behavior into something suspicious simply because a camera is pointed in their direction. From the very beginning, the officers appear more offended than concerned, and that emotional reaction sets the stage for the disaster that follows.
Details, all right?
I don't give me details, it's just not personal, I just don't give me details out to people.
Okay, well, you've been taking photographs into the police yard of, and you've already admitted you've been taking photographs of vehicles in the yard, quite a lot of which are private motor vehicles. All right, we are going to have to satisfy. We are going to have to satisfy
you are
ourselves.
saying that you have been taking pictures of private vehicles. I've been taking pictures of marked cars. That's what I admitted to.
Okay, well, we don't know what's on that camera at this moment in time. All right. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step back now because there's another supervisor here, and I'm actually the custody sergeant, so I could be the person that's dealing with you next in the custody block. All right. So I'm going to step back.
To deal with. I've done nothing wrong.
Well, the officers will ascertain that. The officers will ascertain that. All right, sir.
Okay. Sorry, what's your name again?
That's what I said. Don't give me details.
Just right there.
Can you stop surrounding me?
Right, we're not surrounding you. Obviously, how can we talk to them? What's the documentary regarding? Because obviously you got to understand there's a lot of personal vehicles in there.
This is where things escalate from questionable policing into something genuinely alarming. Matt calmly asserts a basic legal right, the right not to provide identification when no offense has been established. But instead of clearly explaining lawful grounds, the officers begin throwing around threats of arrest without properly stating any legal authority. One officer shockingly claims he doesn't need to explain the law being used, while another casually says they can explain it in custody. That statement alone exposes a terrifying misunderstanding of police powers. Arrest is not supposed to be a shortcut for gathering information or punishing someone for refusing cooperation. Yet that's exactly what appears to be happening here. Matt repeatedly asks a simple question, under what law? And remarkably, nobody gives him a straight answer. Instead, the officers double down with vague claims about intentions and uncertainty. At this point, it becomes painfully obvious this arrest isn't about public safety. It's about control, ego, and forcing compliance from someone who knows his rights.
And what's been recorded? Do you get a view on that?
But what does it matter even if they were in it?
Because obviously if this is going on YouTube like documentary, it gets shared, doesn't it? Yeah. Which is a lot of officers' details, vehicles, people can search it.
Detail? It's not detail.
Well, there's vehicles with registrations, yeah you can.
We need to ascertain who you are, okay?
You can't ascertain who I just told you that I don't give me details.
Right, that's fine.
I've got every right to not give me details.
You have, but what you need to understand is that it's also, you can be arrested so that we can ascertain. So we can ascertain.
Under what law?
So we can ascertain what your details are.
Under what law?
Okay.
Under what law can I be arrested? Can you state the section and can you read that out, please?
Don't need to.
You do need to.
Don't need to.
It's in your code of practice.
You don't need to.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you really do.
We can arrest you and it'll be explained in custody.
I'll be looking into this as to why you saying you do not have to explain what section of the law you're arresting me under.
Don't need to.
Yes, yes, you do.
Now the situation becomes even more embarrassing for the officers involved. Matt is handcuffed and arrested purely so police can ascertain who he is, despite there being no clearly established crime. He immediately calls the arrest unlawful, and honestly, the officer's own words only strengthen his argument. They continue refusing to specify the legal section they're relying on while insisting custody will somehow make everything legitimate later. That's not how lawful policing works. And then comes one of the most shocking moments of the entire encounter. An officer actually suggests that if the custody sergeant approves the arrest, then the arrest automatically becomes lawful. That logic is absolutely absurd. A custody sergeant is not above the law, and internal agreement between officers does not magically erase legal requirements. Matt absolutely destroys that argument by reminding them that the law comes first, not police opinion. At this stage, the officers no longer look professional or composed. They look defensive, confused, and completely out of their depth.
Put this in your pocket.
Yeah, no problem, right? Do you want to give us a dog? So we'll say that. At this moment in time, you've been arrested so we can ascertain your identity, alright?
Under what law?
Obviously, that'll be
You
explained
cannot
when in
arrest
custody, right? You don't
someone.
have to say anything but may harm you defensive. You don't mention one question, so much relate that in court. Anything you do say may be in evidence, alright?
Yes, what law are you arresting me under, please?
We
We don't know what you're doing, we don't know what your intentions are at this moment. You got to understand
This
that.
is mental, this. Could you tell me, please?
It'll get explained when we're in custody, alright?
No, you have to explain why I'm being arrested. You don't just arrest someone and not
we
tell
have
them
to
why.
understand your identity. We don't have any details about you. We don't know who you are, what your intentions are, anything like that. So you've been arrested to ascertain your identity, alright?
Unlawful arrest then. It's an unlawful arrest and someone will be held responsible for it. Okay, you're going to learn the hard way that you've just made a big mistake. You really are.
Stand here for us, alright?
So you can't tell me what you've arrested me for.
Yeah.
You've arrested me to ascertain my details.
Yes, that's true.
Right, that's an unlawful arrest, sir.
Things spiral into even darker territory once the terrorism accusation suddenly appears. Up until this moment, Matt has repeatedly asked why he's being arrested, yet nobody clearly informs him. Then an inspector casually mentions Section 58 of the Terrorism Act as though it's just routine conversation. Think about how extreme that is. A man filming mock police vehicles from a public place is suddenly being linked to terrorism legislation without any credible evidence presented whatsoever. And what makes this even worse is the inspector openly admits he doesn't know why Matt wasn't informed earlier. That admission alone confirms a catastrophic procedural failure. Instead of correcting the mistake, the inspector simply brushes past it. This is the terrifying side of unchecked authority, when serious accusations get casually thrown around to justify an arrest after the fact. Matt remains remarkably calm throughout the ordeal, but the body language and responses from officers reveal growing panic. Their explanations become inconsistent, sloppy, and increasingly difficult to defend as the situation continues unraveling in real time.
And spoken to by that for that.
It's alright.
I'll privately prosecute you as well. You don't arrest someone, not tell them what section you've arrested them under. This is illegal what you're doing. And you know it, and that's why you're quiet.
The grounds of and the necessity of your arrest will be provided at the
You provide it when you arrest someone.
They'll be given to the custody sergeant.
You provide it when you arrest someone. You'll learn the law the hard way. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and you've arrested me for no reason other than you want my details. Doesn't work like that, fella. Have you got anything to say with regards to the situation?
I'll explain to the custody sergeant. If the custody sergeant agrees and
The
accepts
custody
it,
sergeant will agree.
and then it makes it a lawful arrest, because obviously that's on the custody sergeant.
No, it doesn't. The law is above the custody sergeant, buddy. Okay? If the custody sergeant agrees with you, then he's wrong. What's right is the law, not the police.
Alright guys, pay close attention here because this part completely exposes the confusion surrounding citizens' rights and police accountability. Once inside the station, the conversation shifts toward recording devices and access to footage. Matt immediately requests copies of the recordings, understanding that documentation could become critical evidence later. But instead of giving a straightforward answer, the inspector responds with vague excuses about whether it's necessary and whether charges are brought. That response is absolutely staggering because access to footage involving yourself is not some special privilege handed out only when police feel generous. Matt correctly pushes back, making it crystal clear that he's entitled to the footage regardless of charges. And again, the officers seem either poorly informed about the law or deliberately evasive about it. Throughout this exchange, Matt stays sharp, calm, and legally aware while the officers appear increasingly uncomfortable. The entire atmosphere inside custody feels tense, defensive, and chaotic, like officers suddenly realizing this arrest may create far bigger problems than they anticipated.
I explained exactly what I was doing. What's your number, sir, please?
2715.
Would you agree that this is a lawful or unlawful
I'm not
arrest?
discussing it with you.
Do you know why?
I'm not discussing
because
it with
you know.
I'm not discussing
You
it
know.
with you.
Do you have to give
I'm
the
not
reason?
I'm not
Do you have to
discussing
give the
it- I'm not
reason
discussing
why
anything
you
with you.
arrest someone, or do you not? Do you just arrest them
I'm
because you
not
feel like
discussing
it?
anything with you.
You don't, do you? You don't arrest
not
someone because you
discussing
just
anything
feel
with
like it. You don't do that.
Relax, because the cuffs will end up.
It's all right. I'm not bothered. It's okay.
We're not going to engage with you until we're in there and there's cameras in there, alright?
Is your body cam on?
There's no requirement to speak to you now.
Is your body cam on?
Yeah.
Is your body cam on?
It's on.
It's on. You're supposed to tell me when you turn it on as well. You don't just turn it on, you inform someone when you turn it on. That's another thing you'll learn. And this will be unlawful imprisonment.
Hello.
I've been unlawfully arrested and now I'm looking at unlawful imprisonment as well.
Why do you think you've been unlawfully arrested?
Because I've not been told why I've been arrested, what law I've broken.
As this documentary wraps up, the bigger picture becomes impossible to ignore. Matt later confirmed he intended to pursue action over the arrest, and even long after the incident, he was still actively fighting the case. That persistence says everything. This wasn't some harmless misunderstanding or minor procedural slip-up. This was a situation where multiple officers repeatedly ignored basic safeguards designed to protect citizens from unlawful detention. From vague suspicions, to refusal to explain legal grounds, to bizarre claims about custody magically validating arrests, the entire encounter exposes a deeply troubling culture of reactive policing. Not one officer meaningfully stepped in to de-escalate or correct the situation. Instead, they reinforced each other's mistakes until the incident spiraled completely out of control. And that's the truly disturbing takeaway here. When authority operates.
Search me then under the Terrorism Act.
I don't want to search you at the minute. You'll get searched at the appropriate place and at the appropriate time.
Right, no problem.
And not by me. Okay? Do we have any recording devices running whilst he goes into custody?
I'm allowed to do that, by
We've
the
got a
way.
body camera, just his phone, which is still inside the pocket. We're not sure if it's still running.
Yeah, leave that alone, don't turn it off.
Right, I'm going to turn it off because you're entering a police building.
I'm allowed to record, I'm allowed to have it running.
Not within a police
Yes,
building.
I am.
You know,
It's me right,
well,
you need to check that. If you turn that off, that's another thing that'll be a
That's an
problem.
argument we can have at a later date, but for now
It's not an argument, it's a policy.
because
I want to be recorded of what
everything
happens
that's
to
happening
me.
here is recorded by that camera there
Right.
and by that camera.
Can I just say, I would like a copy of that, do not delete it, and I want a copy of that also, don't delete it.
If we decide that it's necessary for you to have a copy, if there are any charges brought against you,
If I want a copy, I'll get a copy.
That will be made available.
I will get a copy no matter what, whether I have charges or not, I will get a copy.
Right, possibly.
Okay, no, definitely.
Again,
I promise you.
That's a
Do
discussion.
you not know that I'm entitled?